Good morning. I feel like a director. Yeah. This is my assistant producer here, and we're very happy with the movie this year. So why am I here? Well, I actually have a show on HGTV, Going Yard. First season aired last summer. Second season starts airing again in April. And what I'm here to do is try to inspire people to get out into their backyards and not be settled with a backyard that just has grass and some flowers, but to give entertaining spaces, fun areas where you can bring all your family and friends over, or if you like to read a book, a nice relaxing place to sit in the backyard and read a book. So
just about everything you said is a goal that we have at Disney as well. So once again, I think we can see the tie between HGTV and Walt Disney World is just natural when we're talking about a lot of those things.
Yeah. We're made to work together. I like it.
Yep.
I love to be outside. I love to entertain at night. So a fire pit is a very simple and easy thing to do. You can literally dig a hole, line it with bricks, put a couple stones around it, and then line the whole area with pea stones. Put down a nice weed fabric, so that way you don't have to worry about weeds as much. Put down pea stone, which is $24 for a ton of pea stone, around the whole fire pit, so that way you don't have to worry about the fire spreading or anything. And you have a very cost-effective area where you can entertain. Throw some nice beach chairs around that fire pit, and at night, sit there, have a glass of wine, and entertain your friends.
But one thing we always talk about is one thing can you do from a plant standpoint. Fire pits are great. My wife's been on me forever to get one, but
I can help you out.
Yeah, thank you. 2 or 3 containers of color. Easy to do. It doesn't even have to be a fancy terracotta pot. You got a couple of galvanized buckets hanging around your place. I think we've become really good at demonstrating that. Go down and get $3, $5, $10 worth of soil, half a flat A of bedding plants, some fertilizer, and you're in business. I'm thinking food, butterflies, definitely do the butterfly plant. You're obviously in Florida, get some milkweed, keep an eye on it as soon as you see some. And my wife has a horticulture degree, but she still calls them worms. As soon as you see the worms or caterpillars crawling, get a jar or 2-gallon soda container cut in half, put some foliage in there, a stick, keep feeding it until you have a chrysalis form in your house, and then your daughter will get to see the butterfly form. That right there, do that one thing and they have that experience that and get to release the butterfly outside. In my experience, that child is now hooked on gardening. And of course, the way to get, I've found, is the way to get children to eat things that a lot of kids won't, have them grow it. If they grow it, they see it grow, and they're a lot more likely to eat it.
Yeah. I remember I was 6, 7, 8, and my neighbor behind me, Mr. Johnson, he had a huge garden. And one day I stole one of his tomatoes, and instead of punishing me, he brought over some tomato plants, taught me how to garden, and I was hooked immediately. Just to be able to pick your own tomato and just the smell of it and to cut it up and eat it, just an amazing thing. And right away, Mr. Johnson, bless him, he didn't yell at me, he just taught me how to garden, and I was hooked ever since.
You got to look for natives or from things in other parts of the world that are close in this climate, close here. Amazing, a lot of the plants that do well here are Japanese, your podocarpus and things like that. But we do have a small plant palette, there's no getting around that, and that's what we struggle with at Disney, is there's so few shrubs that we can use.
Yeah, I have no familiarity with plants down here, so if I do go to a different climate and I'm worried about what to plant, what I always do, and I always tell people, is drive around to your neighborhoods, to your forests, see what has grown well for many years. Take a picture of that, go to your local nursery, find out what that is, find out what's growing well in your area naturally. I say, like, if you're going to start small. What you really like to do in the backyard. You know, if you like to cook, then start with a small herb garden. If you want vegetables, start with a small vegetable garden. If you really want a fire pit, start with that. But just start with one small thing, get that done, enjoy that, and then that will get you to want to be out there even more. Yeah, don't start building a pergola your first day out there. And be like, you know what, I need some shade back here. Honey, get the posts. We'll put them in the ground. You know, start mixing some cement, and let's get going.
Nightmare area.
Yeah, start with a simple project first. You know, I mean, the great thing about a fire pit is you just stack stones in a circle and you're done. You know, I mean, there's no right way or wrong way to do it. It might look better or worse some ways, but at the end of the day, you can still contain a fire.
Exact same principles with gardening. Start small and build on a success. Because if you're successful, even if it's small, and that's why we keep going back to containers with herbs. That, you know, that's, I think, the that would be my advice to anyone who's container with herbs, or what we call an edible landscape, where you have herbs but you also have color.